Join me as I dive into the Titanic's biggest mistakes and see if I can avoid sinking in my own life. Learning from the past is incredibly powerful, and today we're going to explore how the Titanic's tragic story can actually help us avoid sinking in our own lives. Think about it. The Titanic was supposed to be unsinkable, yet it ended up at the bottom of the ocean. What can we learn from its mistakes? And how can we apply those lessons to our own lives? The Titanic's crew made some critical mistakes that ultimately led to the ship's downfall. One of the most significant was ignoring the ice warnings they received from other ships in the area. They were so confident in the Titanic's design and their own abilities that they didn't take the warnings seriously. This overconfidence led to a lack of preparation, and we all know how that turned out. Another mistake was the ship's high speed in an area known to have icebergs. They were trying to break a record, and that blinded them to the potential dangers ahead. Additionally, the lookouts didn't have access to binoculars, which would have given them a better view of the surrounding waters. And even when they did spot the iceberg, there was a lot of miscommunication and confusion that delayed their response. It's amazing how many little mistakes added up to create this massive disaster. These mistakes aren't just limited to the Titanic's crew. We can see similar patterns in our own lives. How many times have we ignored warning signs or red flags, thinking we can handle things on our own? How often have we been overconfident in our abilities, only to fall flat on our faces? And how many times have we taken unnecessary risks, thinking the odds are in our favor? One of the most significant parallels between the Titanic story and our own lives is neglecting warning signs. We often get so caught up in our goals and ambitions that we ignore the little voice inside our heads telling us to slow down or change direction. We might get complacent and think that everything will work out just because it has in the past. But, just like the Titanic's crew, we can get blinded by our own confidence and ignore the signs that are screaming at us to stop or change course. Another challenge we face is taking unnecessary risks. We might get caught up in the excitement of a new opportunity or adventure and throw caution to the wind. But, just like the Titanic's high speed in an area known to have icebergs, we can end up crashing and burning if we're not careful. We can also learn from the miscommunication and confusion that occurred on the Titanic. How many times have we misunderstood someone or had a breakdown in communication that led to chaos? It's essential to make sure we're listening actively and communicating clearly to avoid misunderstandings. The most critical lesson we can learn from the Titanic disaster is the importance of preparation and humility in the face of challenges. We need to be willing to listen to others, to take heed of warning signs, and to prepare for the unexpected. We have to recognize that we're not invincible and that sometimes, despite our best efforts, things can still go wrong. In today's video, we explored the Titanic's fatal mistakes and how they mirror common challenges we face in our own lives. We can learn so much from this tragedy, and by applying those lessons, we can avoid sinking in our own lives. Thanks for watching, and I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Have you ever found yourself making similar mistakes to the Titanic's crew, and how did you recover from them? Don't forget to check out another video I've got on overcoming personal obstacles, and I'll see you in the next one.